Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you how you can make a bee escape for your hive. In this case is Segeberger. I make a few videos about to make that because I have to say it's not so easy to make that. This kind of hive have many places, something like this, and it's make it from the foam. And some pieces is expensive to buy that, and of course you can make it with the wood. If you have also recycled wood, should must be nice. I told you in this video how you can make that. Actually, I say it's not so easy to understanding because this kind of hive, they make it from the foam, and if they make it from the foam, the under of the hive, this is the support, this is the upstairs, the upper side, I have to say. This is the upper side and this is the down. The measure of the under is bigger than the measure of upstairs side, because I think they sorry, they injection this kind of hive in a kind of mold, and they can take it off because in Shablon, and they can take it off if the same measure is down and up. And in another way, it's the one way must be smaller than the another side. Okay, I told you also in another video, because I make a mistake to make that. If you measure one side and you make that, it's not straight, and you make a mistake. Okay. In another video, also I told rules about that. We come back here. This is the bee escape, they call it. It's something like this. There's many shapes, but how it works is that the bees make some. Oh, I have to, of course, explain when you use it. You use this when you want to harvest your honey. For example, if you have few supper and the honey is full and you want to harvest it, 24 before you can put this between two suppers here. For example, between that I am to filming. We suppose that is we put it between two supper, and what happened in the night, the bees, they smell the brood and they go from here to the hive because the brood is under or another supper, and they can't come back to the supper anymore because of this construction here. They can back. I don't know exactly why they can't back, but it's happened. And the bees are strange animals, insects, I have to say, and they can't come back. And if you the day after going to check it, they are here, many bees, they are waiting, something like that. And it's easier if you use that to harvest the supper. That is the why you use that. And what I say 24 hours before, I have to say it's not always working. Sometimes it's not working, or sometimes some bees don't like to go downstairs. I don't know why, but it's better than to don't use that, because it's not so nice if the bees are here with the honey. They don't like it if you take their honey. They are very angry. The bees knows that you come for to take the honey. Anyway, we come back here. And another video I say there are many. The problem with this hive is that is many places, something like this, and it's not so easy to make that. And always you have to buy, and we don't like to buy, we like to make it. Some beekeepers like to make it. If you buy it, of course, sometimes it's cheaper, but we independent and we don't like to buy it. We some people like me, I like to make the things. And for example, if you have a wood, recycled wood is very nice because it's cheaper, of course, and also is nice for the environment. In another video, I told you how you make that, but I told by myself maybe is now a good situation to explain again. I make this 2 years ago, I don't know, with plywood and some wood that I find, and it's okay, but to make this bee escape, the plate that you use must be thicker, and this is very thin. And to fasten this construction to this was not so easy, or it's not so easy, I have to say. You see that this screw come outside, it's not so nice. Because of that, maybe it's better that the plate that you use for here is thicker. I buy for this time, because I didn't have a plate, 9mm, and I think it's okay. I don't know, it's the first time that I use that, and yeah, because of that. Something about making the hive. I make some hive that is painting from inside, but in any matter, the hive don't must be paint inside. There is some paint that you can use that, but I don't explain in this video. Okay, I want to today show you how you make this construction. If you understand this construction, you can make the Segeberger any part of that. Because of that, because it was a good situation to explain it, because I have the new material. To make the under of this plate, we need the upster of the support, because the down of this go upster of this. I can explain you. This is the downside, and we of course we put it upside of the hive of the support. We have this situation, and to know when this profile comes, because we need when this profile come, because they go together, we can sign it at this plate here. And to thinking this way, you can make any part of that, because if you make downside of the supper, is actually the method of thinking is same as you make the upside of your supper. To do that, for the first I have to explain you for the first you make many wooden profile like this. The angle of this is 15 degrees for the Segeberger. If there is many tools that you can use that, I have something like this. For example, I can measure it. It's very small, of course, but I know it's 15, and you can fasten and you can put it in the saw. I show you, but I know that is 15 degrees. Look, it's the 15 degrees. And what I say, you have to make many profile of this. To make that, you can buy a wood. If you want to use a wood, you have to see as your mark which wood is cheaper to use that. For example, this is 2250 millimeter. It was cheaper one. I cut it here, but I have another there. If I cut one, from this wood, I have two profile. The wood is there, if you see, because we also think to benefit so much of the wood that we buy. Look, some millimeter will last because of the saw thickness. Anyway, if I cut this one wood, I have two-part profile. If you want to buy the wood or you have the wood, you have to think about that. You don't. I say it's not so also for environment to use a piece of wood that is one cut you have and the rest is garbage. It's not so good. Anyway, we go to the saw. But I say, I know that is 15 degrees. I have some saw here. I put it at the 15 degrees here. And the blade, something is like this. You have to find where is the center of your wood. At the first, you have to, for example, I have this. This is of course finished. What I say for me was 15 millimeter in 22. I find the middle of this, the heart of this wood, and I put it here. The heart of the wood must be at center of the saw, because I want with one cut to same profile. You can make a tryout that you find that is also possible, and if you have that, you can of course cut it, and you have your profile. I think for the first you make some, and after that you make too much, and in one time you work many part of Segeberger, because if you make that, all the part is same. And you can also make a schablon for the next time. You can use it another time. If you put it here, I know what is the difference between this and this, and it's working quickly. Okay, we have our profile now. And I cut my plates. Is in Segeberger is 50 centimeter or 500 millimeter in 500. I cut it, and after that, of course, I put it my support here. It's actually same as in another video. I put it my support here. And I try to have a line, the body of the support with this plate. To make that, of course, you can use some piece of wood, and you can, if your wood is higher, then you have a same line. If I do this line is same as this line. Okay, if we have that in all of the part in our plate, then we have the sign here, because I want to have this profile. And if I sign, you can with some pen, something like this, you sign here around. If you do that, you have the line here, because the up is the down. And if you have that, what I did here, if you say, look, this is the line is same as this. Then I have to cut the profile. If you make that, be sure that is some space between this line and this profile. Don't put it too close to the line, because it's woodworking, and I see that I buy this kind of supper in two shop. The measure is different sometimes. They say it's Segeberger, but it's not same. And that is also a problem. Because of that, we can make some space, few millimeter, that's working better, I think. And if we have that, The two profile is straight, if you see. But another profile that to come to this profile, they have also an angle here 15 degrees. You see, because this is 15 degrees. And you can make it with the hand of some machinery, something like this. If you want to know where is the beginning, of course I know that its beginning is 15. I cut this wood in 15. The angle must be same, of course, as this. And you put it here. You put it here, not something like this, the end of this profile. And if you put it in the end of profile, for example, very nicely, then you can find also the end of this profile, and you can sign it. And if you sign it and you cut it, then you have a profile something like this with two cut. That is exact. Look, it's very nicely come together. Also here, of course. And another profile, I have to make the same one because otherwise it's not so square. I use this profile as a schablon to make another one. I sign it and I cut it. When you want to make an angle, also I can tell you, you can put it with the hand, the way that the angle goes. Because, for example, if it's 45 degrees, I put something like this, and my line, I have to cut it from here. Why you can do that? Because otherwise you make a mistake. If you put here and you don't give the way of the line, which way it must be go, if you cut it in many ways, they're going wrong because you are working and you don't know whether it was this way or this way, or your machinery can just cut this way. But if you put a line here, the way of the line must cut, you don't make a mistake. Of course, if it's, for example, two-way, I know now that is my line must be this way, and my line must be this way. If I put this and cut is same or same, because I look at it, oh, it is this way. And this kind of machinery have two-way. For example, for cut this, sometimes you have old machinery and just cutting for one way. And it's not possible, for example, to do that with this way, because my line going this way. But it's not matter if I take the line here, I know it's the point here, and I yeah, this way, of course. Now it's possible. Yeah, now it's possible, for example. Then it's the way of thinking, of course, and if you do that, I use also the line, and then it's finished. Then it's finished. Only thing that you have to do is you put it here, and you cut it some holes here off of this plate here, and you are finished. I have to say, if you use that this way, is the downside of the supper, because the bees must come. I put it here. I can explain it perhaps better. Look, if it's I have some that I make it. This is the downstairs of the hive. Don't use something like this. It's not working, of course. The way of under support is this. If this is the under support, then you have to put it this way, because the up is here now. They come from here and they go here to the brood here. Brood is here, and they can't come back again. Thanks for watching. It's a long video, I think. I hope you're understanding. If you have some questions, you can ask it. Have a nice day.